you're just leaving stuff behind when it comes to football?
Good question. I feel I can usually let stuff go pretty good, but at the same time, I don't know if you always want to. I think it's a part of being motivated and is learning from mistakes, learning from past failures, and also learning from losses, and having that feeling, that disappointment drive you just in practice and meetings to watch more, to do more, and so I don't know if you always want to just let everything go and just continue to be the same person. I think you need to let it eat at you a little bit, because I think that can make you better as a player, as a person.
Is it fair to say New England and Buffalo were more disciplined defending you than some of the other teams?
I don't know. I think they both had schemes. At times we executed very well and looked very well, and at times we executed very poorly. So I think for us, we just got to be more consistent and do that for 4 quarters.
Tim, you kind of said the other day that was probably one of the maybe the worst game you've ever had. You've been kind of known for comebacks here. You feel pretty good about rebounding from that effort and coming back with a really strong one?
I do, and what, the thing that was just disappointing, overall it was a pretty good game, but when you have a handful of plays, 4 or 5 plays that aren't good ones, and they're really bad, then it makes your whole game not too good. And so that was frustrating, is you got to have 60, 65 plays, however many they are, that are good, and you can't have 60 and have 5 bad ones. And so or at least your bad ones, you can't make them have very big mistakes on them. So that's something I just got to improve on.
What does the pressure feel like for you this week, knowing it's a kind of a must win to survive in the game?
Well, I think it's exciting. I think we're a very motivated team. I think we had a good practice today. We're going to be extremely focused, and I mean, this is what you play for. It's just like another playoff game for us, and we're excited about it, and we're motivated. I believe we'll go out there and leave everything on the field.
How much do you like personally these situations?
Well, I mean, I enjoy big games. Every game that we've played is a big game to get us to this point, but obviously this is our next game, so it's our biggest game, and we're excited about it. And ultimately, it's why you play the game, is to be in big situations, and with the awesome fan base behind you, which we'll have on Sunday. It'll be a rocking atmosphere, and we're going to be very excited as well.
Your bosses have said it's a good thing for Kyle that he was getting his release. Was it a good thing for you that he was waived when he was waived?
I don't know. I guess it's a good question. Not exactly sure. I think it's good. I'm happy for him that he has another opportunity, and he's playing and doing well, and so I'm happy for him and wish him nothing but the best. But maybe not too good on Sunday.
Was it a good? I mean, was there any load lifted off your shoulders in any way that the guy who
No, not really.
was no longer here and it was a fresh start kind of thing?
Not really. That didn't really feel like that when they put me in. It didn't really feel like I had to look over my shoulder or anything like that. It was just I was going out there, considering myself very blessed, playing the game I love and the game I've dreamed about playing since I was a boy. So I didn't really look at it like that.
Well, what did change once Kyle was released with the organization and with you personally as a quarterback?
Well, I think it gave Weber a little bit more of an opportunity, and so I was happy, for him. He's a great guy, so it's awesome to see him, going out there and balling on the scout team, and so I was very happy for him. I think a lot of guys had relationships with him and continue to have relationships with him to this day, and so I think we just wish him the best of luck.
Tim, do you feel any extra pressure this week knowing that Kyle's under center for the Chiefs with so much on the line?
No, not really. Ultimately, this is the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be very exciting, and the crowd's going to be rocking, and we're going to be excited. And it's 2 teams going against each other, not just a few players.
You had a formula that worked when we were going well. The last couple of weeks gone away, obviously situationally, but I mean, the pass ratio versus run, having to go away from the run. I mean, when you played the Chiefs the last time, it was a little bit of an extreme. Do you have to get back to that a little bit more, or no?
Yeah, I think we just have to be balanced and be consistent, and not have the streaks where it's going well and the streaks where we're having a few 3 and outs in a row. I think that's what hurts us, if we can just stay consistent and don't always have to be spectacular, but just be consistent. And I think that's the key for us.
How important is it to establish the running game?
maybe with Willis?
Oh, I think that's very important, to keep them off balance, to be able to make it a physical game and to show our, physicality once we go out there. And, I think just from a motivational standpoint and, what we preach, we want to always be the more physical team. And, I think that's just Coach Fox's mentality, and that's, how we try to play.
Tim, how did you react when you heard the Pro Bowl announcements yesterday and you were named second offense?
I guess it's pretty cool. Honestly, I didn't think too much about it. I'm more worried about the Chiefs. So.
Curious, have you been in touch with Kyle at all since he left?
No, not really. I mean, early on and stuff, but not for a while.
Tim, you talked about how you dealt with, for lack of a better word, the Tebow mania that surrounds you, all the spotlight and everything. Did you ever get a sense for how Kyle dealt with that? I mean, all the 15 jerseys in the crowd and the Tebow chants, even when he was the starter.
I think he handled it really well. I don't think he ever let it get to him, and I think he was just try to be professional about it and go and work at his profession as best he could.
Could you imagine the difficulty that must have been for a guy to kind of bear through that when everything, the curiosity about yourself was kind of surrounding this team?
Well, I think he was someone who definitely had to overcome things from not getting drafted for a little bit and finding opportunities to play, and so he wasn't going to let anything else get him down by the fans or anything. So I think he just tried to stay focused and work at his profession and be the best he could at it.
Tim, what can you compare this week to in your past? You didn't experience a week like this last year, certainly. What does this compare to?
I'm not sure. I guess, every year is a little bit different, and new opportunities, new obstacles, new struggles, and this is one more, and it's exciting, and I consider, myself blessed and our team blessed to be in this position where, we win and we get an opportunity to go to the tournament. It's exciting. We get to play a rival. That'll be a lot of fun, and so, I just thank the Lord we have this opportunity to play this wonderful game and live out my dream. It'll be a lot of fun.
There was some newness to what you were doing when you played Kansas City the first time, and you really hadn't unveiled that whole option thing. I mean, you had it against Oakland, but you really went for it against Kansas City. Is it going to be a little more difficult against that defense? Now they're playing well, now that they've seen kind of what you have, obviously.
I don't necessarily look at it from that standpoint. I think, we had shown some of that option before that game where they had seen a few wrinkles in that game, but we honestly didn't have too many big plays on the option. We had a few, 8 or 10 yard gains, but for the most part it was kind of going right at them where we had some success. And so, hopefully we'll be able to do the same thing and, create that mentality.